Ari Drafters Quick Draft is back to Neon Dynasty. So for those who like the format, I thought I'd give a little bit of an update on what the bots are doing. So as usual, I've taken some information from 17 Lands, and this time I've just looked at the past week or so. So I've just been looking at last week, so this is only taking into account the information which just came from this round of Quick Draft. And I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to compare that to the previous round of Quick Drafts. Here I've got the current average last seen at, so this is how quickly it's picked in the how fast it's picked in the draft by the bots, where we tend to see it getting picked by the bots. And we've also got the information from the previous time. Now, first thing I notice here is generally these things tend to line up. You've got the order here, so I've ordered them all here. You've got the orders fairly matching up apart from the odd card. So biggest one here we can see, actually this is going to be one of the bigger ones overall, is Life Toshiro Omizawa. It used to be the it used to be the 80th most common pick card. So you would see it quite a lot of the time, about halfway here, and now it's the 7th most picked card, which seems to be about where it should be. We've got Assassin's Ink up here right at the top still, as it was kind of before. The top spot has been taken by this. Something else was at the top and it's moved way down. We'll see that in a second. But this is that's still quite up top, and it's a good card. It's got 84.2%. That's game played win rate. You've got the games in hand win rate 56.2. So it's fine. It's a fine card, but shouldn't be taken first, I don't think. You've got some other good cards up here: Twin Shot Sniper, Blossom Prancer, Besage Reacher Skyward, Michiko's Rain Truth. Okay, that's not maybe it's as good as the three above it, but we've got 3 fantastic cards coming in these spots here as there were before. And what I've done here is I've got this average last seen at change, so we're looking at what the changes are. So if we manage to sort by that, so right at the top here we can see Life of Toshiro Omizawa has been picked. This has been the card which was picked too low by the bots before, and it's been moved right up by the programmers. And then the next one down, you can see that one was a change of 73 places. Now we've got a change of 44 and 43 places for Go Shintai of Shared Purpose. That's a white Go Shintai, the white shrine. And then Dokuchi Silencer as well, which is the... I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but you'll be able to see it on your screen now because I should be flashing it up. So you have those cards that are there, and then we're getting into some lower numbers as well. But you can see what they are on the screen: Muktai Ambusher, Kumano Faces Kakazan, and so on. If we go to the bottom of this list, so we've got 80 spaces change, and this is more. Now we're looking at the cards which were picked really highly. So this was 28th best pick, was when we were young, and now it's not picked nearly as highly anymore. So there's 108 out of 206. So it's still mid-pack pick here. It's still getting picked. We've got the ALSA is 5.36, but it used to be picked basically by the 3rd pick. It was always getting picked. Now it's halfway through the 5th pick. The one we were talking about earlier, the Runaway Trash Bot. So this is about the same change as Life of Toshiro Omizawa. This was picked first, now it's picked a lot lower. Probably should be lower again. It's not the best card in the world, but that is another big change that we've seen here. And then we've got Shrine Steward, which has dropped down quite a bit, which actually I think has been a card which it's grown for a lot of people. And I think the bots have went the opposite way to a lot of players, because you look at it, you think, oh, this just works with shrines. But the auras decks, there's quite a few good auras. You've got the black one, which kills a creature, Twisted Embrace, and you've got a few other decent auras that you can play as well. So I think a few people are picking this up a bit more. And this is going about, it's saying here, it's going about pick 6 or 7. Whereas before it was going to pick 4 or 5. So maybe that's a bit of a correction. But that doesn't mean it's a bad card. It just means it's getting picked in a more appropriate amount. And then we're in these kind of 40s positions here. But you can see there's often, in this case, there's 3 cards here which were overpicked before. And they've been dramatically reduced. And then we've got 3 cards at the top here, or 2 or 3 cards, although these are 40s, so these kind of match with some of the other ones. So really there's 1 which has been severely changed here, with a few other changes as well. I mean, 40, 30, 20 places even is a fair change in the way these average last seen ats are. Before we go to the next section, I'm just going to show you that a lot of these cards have a game in hand win rate which is missing, because we don't have a very big sample size here with the decks that are being shown. So I'm going to compare by taking these blanks out. I'm going to reorder everything. So I've got these, I've redone these ratings here on the average last seen at. So this is looking at the current average last seen at, and the current win rates in the format, and then we're looking at the difference between these two values. So you've got this card here is Essence Capture, and this has a very high win rate, 60%. Is really big, and it's not a card that I've seen a lot in Premier Draft, but I do think it's quite good. I think specifically it's good in the Ninjas deck, and this has a 60% win rate, and the average last seen at is 10th pick, so it's after 10th pick, so this is always going to wheel Essence Capture, so that's something definitely to bear in mind. So the ones at the top here are cards which are underpicked by the bots. So we've got Essence Capture with Dismal Blackwater. Dismal Backwater, this is the gain land, and all of the gain lands are picked as the bottom 10 cards that are picked by the bots. So the bots don't care about the gain lands at all, so they are all there. We've got Blossoming Sands here, Thornwood Falls, Swiftwood Watercliffs, and a few others. Well, pretty much all of those are going to be up here as well. What else do we have up here? I mean, we've got some really good cards which are definitely underpicked by the bots. You've got Tamiyo's Safekeeping, which is the green. It's the one protected creature, which has been a bit of a grow on a lot of people as well. Searchlight Companion, which is the uncommon, I think, gives you a 1/1 flyer and also a 1/1 on the ground. You got Fate of Antiquity, solid removal spell. Probably want one, not more than that, really, in your decks. But then we're getting to these points where, again, it's starting to even out fairly quickly when we look at the difference between the average last seen at and the game in hand win rate. Going to the bottom of this list, so these are going to be the cards which the bots are overpicking. Bottom we've got Imperial Recovery Unit, bots seem to love, but players do not, or it doesn't tend to win very often. So this is currently picked 24th most common out of all the cards that we've got on here. And Seismic Wave, Bronze Plate Ball, Cammy's Flare. I mean, these are all okay red cards. These are all cards that you want. So it's looking like red might be not a very good colour to go for in Quick Draft currently. I'd avoid that if you're not avoiding it already. Leech Gauntlet, Patchwork Automaton. I mean, this... Oh, well, no, that is a very good card. But I suppose if the red cards are getting picked, then the Artifact deck might not be as open. So maybe that's why Patchwork Automaton's not doing particularly well in the draft here. Dragon Spark Reactor, I think a lot of people came down on. It's still playable in the right deck, but it doesn't just go in any red deck anymore. And then we've got a few other ones up here which aren't too surprising. So overall, not many surprises. I think just, there's some obvious changes, like we saw that Life Toshiro Umezawa has been moved right up in the pick order, and it seems to be a lot of auras in there as well if we go back to this list. So we've got right at the top here, Life Toshiro Umezawa is not an aura, a saga. You have Kimono Faceless Kakazan. No, is that I can't remember what that is. That's the single red one. We have Long Reach of Night. You've got Fall of Lord Konda, and you've got quite a lot of these things which have been moved right up in the bots pick order. So I think that's another thing to take away. So, bit of a rambling one, bit of a quick one, but I just want to get a little video out this week as we are waiting for those first spoilers of New Capenna to come in. We've been getting some charms in. They might be worth investigating a little bit, see if it tells us a little bit about the draft archetypes, maybe treat them a little bit like the signposts and commons. Once we've got all those in, I might take a little look at what they're telling us about different archetypes. That might be quite fun to do, but until that happens, I hope to catch you again soon.